And your mother saw the early success
No,
of Tubular
unfortunately,
Bells?
no, she was not quite aware of it by then. She had a, very tough time and unfortunately passed away, in the late 70s. So, and that was a terrible blow for me to get over. It took more than 10 years to get past that. There's still a part of me that isn't past it. But there always will be. It's as good as it can be now.
Possibly nobody ever gets over the death of their mother.
They don't, no.
But you're carrying on with something, this vehicle that you use is your music. So when you had two huge crises at that point, you developed this amazing thing, Tubular Bells, which the world suddenly took and ran with, and then you ran off. You didn't play the game, did you?
No, I didn't. I went off and lived in the Welsh hillsides and played with my model aeroplanes with all the sheep, and I drove them bananas.
But that wasn't the thing you were supposed to do. Everyone ringing on your door, everyone ringing you up saying you're selling millions and millions of copies.
I cut the phone off.
Did you?
So I would get Richard Branson driving up in his car saying, Mike, you've got to talk to them. I said, go away, leave me alone.
He was about the only one you did talk to, wasn't he?
Yes.
And did he understand?
Nope, he couldn't understand it at all. But for him, he loves attention and people going, "Hey, Richard," I hated it.
What was the trigger that then made you think, "Hang on, I can't cope with this," and run to the Welsh Hills? Why didn't you buy the apartment in Notting Hill and live it up?
Well, it's around this time that the panic attack started. I have a theory about panic attacks. And panic attacks, for anybody who's experienced them, they are the most debilitating thing. And people who suffer from phobias, claustrophobia, agoraphobia. If you have a panic attack, it doesn't matter. You're in the most pretty garden with butterflies, birds singing. Something will happen, and you just freeze. You think all the possible worst things, that you're going to die of a heart attack any second, or the devil has got control of you, or, you're going to be blown to, you're suddenly going to explode, and you're frozen. And it just doesn't happen just once, it happens, day after day, for years. It's a terrible, terrible thing. Most people will, tranquilize themselves or use alcohol, which I did, both those things. But the thing that finally cured me was I went on a seminar when I was mid-20s, and the people on this seminar, there were a lot of other people, encouraged me to focus on what it really was. Instead of like blocking it, going no, say, okay, come on then, come on, panic attack, Then getting in the ring with Mike Tyson, And they gave me the courage to do that. But what I discovered, they said, start screaming, start making a noise. And it started with a kind of sigh, and it ended up as the most enormous scream you ever heard, And it was primal scream, and it was also the screaming of a newborn baby. And then these people sort of put cushions all around me and gradually calmed me down. And I felt, through the hyperventilation, I felt, my skin was all wet and raw. I felt, I suddenly realised, God, I'm a newborn baby again. Obviously, I've seen births take place, and I've seen what a traumatic thing it is for the child, especially in the time when I was born, when the baby would come out, they'd hold it up by the feet, and wake up!
Yep.
So your first experience of life is going to be panic.
But
and
why
I believe, sorry, just to finish, I believe that a lot of panic attacks come from birth traumas. That's what I believe.
You seem a very content person now. I'm going to come back and talk to this very content person later on, so stay there. I wish we were all that content. Life stresses do get to us all. We sent Roland Rivron and Karen Kruzanovic out, put them through their paces to see how they could best cope in a crisis. Here's what happened. Karen and Roland getting to grips with a little self-help there. Now, Mike, I know that you have pursued self-help therapies, but not in a kind of Hollywood way that, oh, that looks interesting, and that one looks interesting, I might dabble with that. You actually pursued in search of a cure, didn't you? I'm fascinated by the moment of the rebirth, because I understand the theory of rationalising the pain, rationalising the anxiety, but I don't understand how reliving it in your memory can make the pain.
Well, you're not
you're
not actually reliving it. I mean, it's still there. You've got to cure it somehow. And it became such a relief, I can't tell you. Suddenly I could do all the things I couldn't before, travel, I could go around the world, go on aeroplanes, I could do interviews, I could talk to people, be relaxed.
Were you sceptical?
Not at all.
You're very open to...
No, but, I haven't finished the story yet. I mean, then I dealt with the great big thing. Then there were all the other things to deal with. The sort of lower level intensity problems, like the trauma of losing my mother, not fitting in at school. And for these I went to ordinary psychotherapy. It's just because, the high from getting over the panic attacks lasted between 5 and 10 years, but then gradually all the other insecurities which most people have came in, and I didn't want to stop there. I wanted to really understand myself, and all these mental problems were almost like viruses in a computer, and I just wanted to get rid of them.
Do you feel
I'm still working on it. I'm sort of lightly soiled.
Wow, what a lovely thought. Ooh, can you put it in a nicer way?
Sorry about that. I can laugh about it.
Well, exactly.
I never could before.
You're not locked inside yourself or inside your house by any means. So therapy really has given you, a new lease of life. Do you think that if you hadn't found that, then it had got so bad you wouldn't have wanted to carry on?
No, I'd never give up.
No, you're not a quitter. In the past, traditionally, people would have turned to their family, or maybe religion, but largely their family to work a problem out, to sort something out. Yeah,
well, the lucky people who do have, grandparents, they're old enough and wise enough, and they can be a tremendous help. But so many people don't have grandparents, and there's so many single-parent families, their children who've grown up without a father or a mother. And I believe we're suffering from, the fact that people can't have relationships, is a problem which psychotherapy can deal with. And a lot of good should come from, actually counselling in relationships. It's very difficult to, keep a relationship going in this world. And I did feel a need 10 years ago to try and promote psychotherapy because it helped me such a lot. And I had a foundation for about 4 years called Tonic, where we would sponsor people to do psychotherapy.
Why did you think it was so important?
Because it was considered taboo at the time. Not exactly taboo, but you're sick if you need psychotherapy. But now it's so common. Perhaps it's swung too much the other way now. You can, like you were saying, you can get addicted.
Yes.
And just have psychotherapy for anything. But there are, a lot of people there that benefit a hell of a lot from it. I still see a psychotherapist, once a month. And because some of the things, you just have to learn to live with.
And does that involve talking and being listened to and analysing what's going on in your mind and rationalising?
Well, see, I know all the things about my childhood. There's various things that happened, when I was at school. A lot of the problems that we have stem back to early childhood experiences, and once you know that, you can catch yourself. You can think, oh, there I go, getting insecure because somebody said this, and it's because of that, and that sort of takes away all its power and energy.
And is therapy teaching you how to be content with you
here
it's not
that
now?
Important. Meditation was a much more important thing in the last few years to me, and Tai Chi, which is moving meditation, which will, of course, will get poo-pooed by
No, it
everybody.
won't. I want to explore the spiritual. No, not at all. We want to know very much.
They'll go off and do it secretly in the back garden.
I do want to find out more about your spiritual healing, your Tai Chi, your meditation, all to come later on. But first of all, sound therapy as an alternative form of medicine. I went to meet a man who